Whew. See, now why does it do this?
What?
When I get the notification and click on it, I think it's because I'm clicking on the one in the group where I'm an admin, so it doesn't give me like the comments on the right-hand side like it should.
Oh, okay.
Really fucking annoying. It gives it to me on the bottom, which means I can't follow any of it. I forget how I fixed it last time. But
Oh,
I think
we can
because
hear
it
you.
assumes that I'm... Oh, there it is. I got it. I don't know how the hell I did that, but sweet.
Everyone on the stream can hear you talking.
Oh, really? Oh, yep, they can.
Everyone on the stream can hear you talking.
Oh, really?
Here we go.
Welcome to the greatest sports show in the world. Good week, everybody. How's everybody doing? I hope you are having a good week. Trish, Dan, nice to have you back. What's going on?
Just excited to
Oh,
be
you know,
here.
just recovering.
Excited for life. That's what I like. Shut up, Dan. I want to hear about your recovery periods.
I thought you did. I thought that's why we were here.
No, we're here.
What happened to your shirt there, Nick?
Yeah, I had a little accident in the pre-recording.
That was clean 5 minutes ago.
Yeah, pre-recording, I ran downstairs to grab some water, and as I was drinking it, I took a little corner a little too sharp, took a little bump, boom, right there, spilled some water all over me. If my wife's watching, there's water at the bottom of the stairs. I'll clean that up after we get done recording.
That's such a dangerous place for water to be.
But anyway, guys, like I said, I hope everyone is having a good week. Trish, why don't you start off? Tell them where they can find us.
You can find our podcast anywhere you get your podcasts. If you're an Apple person, if you're a Spotify person, you are good to go. You should be subscribed. You should also rate and review us so other people can find us.
5 stars
And then
only.
if you are 5 stars only, if you're on Instagram, you can find us at BLPA Big Show, also on Twitter. You can find Danny Vibes at the Danny Vibes on Twitter. No idea if you've been tweeting. I've seen nothing, but maybe he'll start. And then you can find me at Trish Dangle on Twitter, Nick
me
at
something to tweet
Nicker
about.
Jones. We will tonight. Nick's got a story to tell us.
Hey, listen.
And
Can we
go ahead.
Can we just go? Like, I don't post anything on BLPA Big Show. I know we keep saying BLPA Big Show. I just forget to post things, and I just post everything on the BLPA. Probably the easiest way to do it. Like, everything's there, right? So why split? I mean, I like the BLPA Big Show. We own it. I have it. I just don't ever post on it. Basically,
Hey guys, screw branding. We're just going BLPA from now on. Find us there.
I mean, we are the BLPA.
I mean, that's a brand.
But we're the Big Show for the BLPA, right? You know, unless Trish wants to take the mantle to post social media stuff, I mean, I'll gladly give access to that. But I don't have time. I forget. I post everywhere else. And anyway, so that's that. So Dan doesn't tweet, basically. I have hilarious tweets. Follow me and interact with me.
I was busy this weekend.
So.
Sure. Yeah, Nick's good at Twitter. Follow him. Follow me. I like some things that are funny.
What else is going on this week? Trish, what's going on in your world? Let's do a little Trish Dangle. Let's find out a little bit about Trish. That's what I want to do right now.
Oh wow. Well, I mean, I don't want to brag, but my episode of Tendy Talk just dropped, also on the BLPA podcast network. So Joe and I got to roast Nick a little bit, which was super fun, and talk about how terrible of a goalie I am. So if you're interested in that, definitely check out.
So wait, this is a show that's
Tendy Talk.
This is a show having terrible goalies on the show? Like,
yeah, he would have absolutely not had me on the show if I was not hosting this podcast. So
gotcha. Okay, so he's
opening doors for me.
Gotcha. Hey, that's what we do here. We open doors, but we only open doors for good personalities. Dan has not been on any other podcast around here, and I hear about it all the time. Big Dad and Peck are always saying Dan's trash. I still have you on, Dan, but I'm just letting you know what the fans say. You're gonna have to step it up.
I mean, I know at least half those guys do it out of love.
Well,
or that's what you tell yourself, at least.
But it is indeed what I tell myself.
We have a lot of stuff to cover today. Just reading. Like, I'm actually going just straight off the top. Don't have anything written down here, so I don't even know the order. But I know we're going to talk about pickup etiquette. I know we're going to talk about stacking the lines. We're going to talk about crackheads. We're going to talk about Iceland. I think I basically nailed everything there. Was there NFTs, like BLPA coin?
Yeah, we'll chat about some nonsense stuff in there, but those are the big ones. So I am most excited to talk about your crackhead story. So let's kick it off talking about Iceland first and any BLPA updates, and then move on to
okay. Well, listen, if we're going to talk to Iceland first, we definitely have to play this.
Life is one big hockey game here in
Sing along, Dan.
Cold beer, slap shots, body pain.
Dan, sing along, bud.
Send me the lyrics.
Let's talk it over. Dex Tales. Woo.
Let's talk about Dex Tales. Listen, I don't want to piss off sponsors. I don't want to piss off anyone like this. I forgot to say this show is brought to you by the Hockey Wolf. Ow, 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 ow.
Oh.
Hockey Wolf, bunch of beauties over there. I don't know if I'm too old to say like hockey slang like that, but I'm going to do a show where I just talk in hockey slang. Not this one, but a bunch of buttes over there that just beer leaguers like us trying to make the game more affordable, get more people in at good prices. They have some really cool BLPA merch that you can only get there. So we'll put a link. I guess maybe I did put it in the description where you can go check out the Hockey Wolf. Ow, 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 ow.
Ow.
But they make this show happen along with our Patreon followers and fans. If you want to help the show get bigger, better, do rad things, it's patreon.com/beerleagueinc. Those are our sponsors. That's what we do. We'll talk about Hockey Wolf a little bit more in the episode because I got some stuff to talk about with them. But let's talk about Iceland, okay? Let's talk about sometime. Like I really think it would be cool to have just like a camera on me all the time so people could know like what goes on like behind the scenes and how these ideas come up. And like Iceland is a really rad idea. Like who would ever think, I mean, I know what Iceland is. I saw them in D2 for the Mighty Ducks, but I've never really thought, hey, let's go to Iceland. And so this happened kind of on accident. Like I was just joking around and I was like, oh, we're going to do Tokyo for a draft experience. We're going to do Czech Republic. We're going to do Australia, and fuck it. We're going everywhere. Let's just do Iceland. As a joke, I said that. But then people were like, yeah, let's fucking go to Iceland. And I was like, really? And I said, hey, all right, well, who's really actually interested? Like, this is what it's going to cost. And I mean, right now, we literally have had it up for less than a week and we're pushing on 40 pre-registrations for Iceland. We can only there's only 50 that we can take, basically, right? Because I'm not going to go over there and do a 6 or 8 team tournament because they don't have the ice accessibility. Like they have a couple rinks in the city. They only have one city in the whole country. There's actually a road around the country, Dan. Like we could go and fucking roll around that whole country on a ring road.
Like just run a tour bus. Get the whole group going.
But it's in February, so I don't know what the driving weather is going to be like. And everyone's like, why would you go to Iceland? Why would you go to Iceland in February? I get it. It's winter. It's going to be cold. We're going to have to dress warm. I get that.
Okay, but hey, hockey is a winter sport.
Yeah, but is it winter there in Iceland? It's not.
Yes.
I don't know.
It's winter time, but
different.
February is the best time to do the
Northern
Northern Lights.
Geographical strengths there, Dan.
He's not a smart man. We're beer leaguers here.
I don't know anything about geography.
But February is the best time to do the Northern Lights. When it's cold, they have geothermal baths that you can just go get. Like even though it's 0 degrees, 32 degrees Fahrenheit, whatever, these baths are heated geothermally. Like they're all on geothermal power, right? That's what they use for their power. So we can go hang out in the nature hot tubs is what I like to call them. The only thing that kind of is a little iffy is they have this volcanic activity going on over there, which is really rad. I don't think it's really threatening anyone right now, but I don't know how the access to these nature's baths will be there because there's like you could get really hot scalding water in there because of these volcanic fissures that are shooting lava up there, which I love lava. So Iceland is going to be extremely rad. Like it was literally a joke. Like I really didn't think, I just said Iceland, just like, fuck it, Iceland. And people were like, yeah, we want to do Iceland. So like, usually I like to take a credit for my great ideas and say, I have fucking incredible ideas, listen to them, make them happen. This one was an idea that was just a joke, but it came to reality. So here we are. Right. So pretty stoked about that. So, you guys interested in Iceland or is it just?
Oh yeah.
Well, I mean, Dan thinks it's summer in February in Iceland, so I guess we're going to have to go and educate him.
Hey, that's fine. Show me the Northern Lights while we're sitting in nature's hot tub. That won't be
there
weird at all.
Hey, shaping the minds of America's beer leaguers. That's what we do here on the BLPA Big Show. No need to go to college, to school, to anything else. Just tune in on our Facebook Live group every Tuesday at 7 p.m. Mountain Time, and you will learn.
You're going to learn something. You'll at least learn what 7 p.m. Mountain Time is in your time zone.
From a very morally sound individual, I might add. That's me. I'm not talking about anyone else.
That's a stretch.
So, yes.
All right, let's talk. Okay, super excited about Iceland. I probably won't be able to go, but I'm excited to hear about the experience and hear how it goes. But also have been sitting and wait to hear about your crackhead story. You teased it on Facebook, wouldn't even tell us about it. Now I want to hear about it.
Okay, but I got more stuff to talk about drafts. So I'm just going to set up the crackhead story. But then I got to go back to drafts because we do got some other exciting stuff that's going on in the BLPA and drafts. But yes, there was a crackhead incident. I don't do crack, but the person that I saw allegedly. I mean, I'm telling you straight up, I don't do crack. But I think when I went to get gas at a gas station, right? And Calgary's a pretty safe city. Like I've never really felt unsafe. Like when I first moved here, people were like, "Oh, you live in the ghetto," and I'm like, "Ghetto? Like where's the people just walking around with guns?" Because that's what happens in the ghettos where I live. Basically, I guess it was scary because someone tried to mug me and they said, "Please give me all your money," and I said, "No, thank you," and they left me alone. But apparently that's scary in Calgary. But I digress. But I set it up because it is a safe city. I don't really feel unsafe. I don't really see like the drug addicts and stuff. Like, and you go to Vancouver and like there's places where it's like, okay, looks really iffy.
You go to
Calgary,
East Hastings and you're done
yes,
there in Vancouver.
exactly. But in Calgary, it's not like that. And I just went to get gas on Saturday morning. My kid had a pony lesson. He got a pony lesson for his birthday in March from his cousin. So we were going to ride the pony, and wife, mother-in-law, and Coop drove on ahead, and I drove myself and went and got gas. And I went to put my credit card in the machine, and it would not accept my credit card. So I went inside to pay for the gas so I could get gas. And I was at the first stall right next to the door. Like, it wasn't like it was this big thing. So I didn't lock the door, right? Because and I come out and my door is open and the driver's side door, and someone is in my car going through my things. And I was like, that is really weird. So guess what happened? I'll tell you right after I talk about this draft tournament stuff.
You're an asshole.
But no, the draft, obviously we had a tournament this past weekend. I wasn't able to go. Dan was there, but I don't really trust his version of things. And then we actually have Vegas coming up here in 2 weeks. I won't be at that one either because I have some stuff that I have some commitments back home that I made prior to these being scheduled, that basically it was like, if Vegas gets moved to this date, I won't be able to go. Colorado Springs actually got pushed back a weekend, so I wasn't able to go that because my wife does some things, and she basically, without her understanding and support in doing what I do, I couldn't do it, right? I couldn't be gone all the time hosting badass beer league things without a understanding wife. And she basically has told me all along, I don't care what you do, don't care where you go, as long as when these two things happen, you have to be here to help me with it. And it's her job, right? And so I said, that sounds pretty okay. So it just happened that these 2 weekends and the way the 2-week quarantines work coming back into Canada, I just couldn't go. So it sucks that I missed those, but starting mid-May, I'm embarking on another quest. And I'm gonna fly in an airplane for the first time in years.
Good luck.
Ooh.
So I'm fully quarantined person, right? So here's going to be the plan. I'm going to drive down from Calgary to Great Falls, Montana. I'm going to hop on a plane from Great Falls to Columbus. Jeff Peck is going to pick me up in the RV at the Columbus airport on Tuesday night, and we're going to drive to Washington, D.C. for the BLPA Bash in Laurel. We're going to fucking have a kick-ass rock star time in Laurel. Those DC folks are they're ready. They're ready to party. They're ready to go BLPA on everybody. And that's what we're going to do for that weekend. Then we're going to drive from there to Cleveland. Cleveland only has like 3 spots left in it. We're going to fucking kick that city's ass. And then we're going to drive to Boston and kick that city's ass before I come home for a couple weeks and then go on another quest. And so, but the big quest here with me and Peck, and I hope there's people listening to this and that can help us out. There's some states up there that are really close. Vermont, New Hampshire, Rhode Island, Connecticut, Maine. I want to play hockey in all of those states in a 3-day period. And that's what Peck's going to drive. Well, I guess I'll drive some too, but we're going to hit those up. So if you're in those places, let us know if there's going to be ice so we can come out just a little shinny. All right, nothing too fast. All right, we're just leisure skates, beer.
If you have a beginner skate for Nick, that would be perfect.
Yeah, listen, I'll come out and dominate
like an adult class or something.
Yeah, like the adult just learning to skate.
Hey,
like a learn to skate, yeah.
If someone,
couple pylons out there.
If it could be like backwards crossovers night, I'll get out there and try to do it. I'll give 100% to do it.
Can you not do a backwards crossover?
Maybe I can, but if I just thought about it like in my head, and I probably would be like, I can't do this. But I think when I'm going, I probably could.
You could probably do it.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
so.
It's one of those ones where like do a crossover.
We're probably 2 of the more judgmental people about that, though.
Which is whatever.
To be fair.
I mean, like when do I really need it in my line of work?
Listen, he's a power forward.
In making loops
in
the neutral zone.
He doesn't ever need a
He's a power
backwards
forward.
crossover.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I'm just saying, like I do loops in the neutral zone. I don't really need I don't do them backwards. I just make big, long battleship turns the whole game. I chirp.
Beautiful.
I chirp, and sometimes I get opportunities because the key to my game is opportunistic. If
The
I
key
there's
to
a-
your game is always go bar down in the
well,
last 7 seconds of the game.
if there's an opportunity, I'm
Yeah,
taking
if you're
it.
trying to make friends.
I'm taking. He's my buddy. He signed up for another one. We're good. We're all good, Dan. But anyway, so that's the
That's
quest. That's the quest coming up for May, and I'm super jacked about it. But I don't want to lessen because I'm not there. I can't talk about Colorado Springs. I won't be able to talk about Vegas, but they're sold out too, right? So they're still
I'll be
rocking.
there.
Yeah, but
We can talk about it.
Does
We
it?
should have Randy on to talk about Vegas.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, it's his wedding, right? So
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's why.
so and you know,
But speaking of Laurel, didn't you posted on Facebook some free agent
oh
needs?
boy, Team BLPA, we're going full for. I said we're going BLPA on them. We're gonna pull out our BLPA and just pour it all over them, and that means what we have to do is we have to have a free agent team in the lower div. We're missing a team, so I'm like, what better way to spread the joy of BLPA than to have BLPA teams? And because our mission now is to have female divisions, we only have 2 women's teams signed up right now. So I'm going to do a BLPA women's team as well. And we're working on getting that 4th team just so we can have a solid female division there. So if you want to play in Laurel, May 14th through 16th, you can play for Team BLPA. I mean, don't be a dickbag. Don't be a dickbag. And if you're like a B, C level player, don't come out and just try to.
If you're cool and you have like relatively recently started playing hockey or you've been playing for a little bit but you're not that great and you've been nervous to do a tournament or haven't had a team, sign up for the free agency.
No,
Yeah,
Come out and enjoy it.
if you can do a backwards crossover, we probably don't want you. So what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So
So Nick will be on the team is what we're saying.
so yeah, I'll be there. I'll be there with fucking bells on. But let's talk about Colorado Springs, Dan, because you did go.
I did.
And by all rights, I heard how amazing it was from everyone, which I'm stoked. I like when things go well, but I would have increased the level of awesomeness. I understand that. But can we talk about how ridiculous it is that we didn't get half the jerseys for that? Let's just tackle that right off the bat.
I mean, what did I do as soon as I land? Picked up the rental car, sat at DHL for over 2 hours with next to no help. Like, it's absolutely, like, I'm doing that. Nick and Randy are on the phone, like the supplier's on the phone. Everyone's on the phone while I'm there trying to get any information on this. I sit there for 2 hours to find out that half of them, 1 box, was already in Colorado Springs getting ready for delivery, but that they have zero clue that a second box even exists.
Which is weird because there's a way bill and it shows 2 boxes.
It says 2. It doesn't make any sense. Like DHL is the worst company on the planet. It's a fact at this point. But thanks to Randy and his buddy CJ and Al at the Monument Rink, like, they sourced 2 sets of jerseys and it wasn't talked about. Like, everyone played, like, they had a jersey to wear. Obviously we will have the jerseys. Everyone will get them. But if that, I would say that's the only thing that went wrong, and no one sat on it. Like, we just moved on, had fun, had a great time with
and
without them.
a lot of people would say, like,
it honestly looked like it was like didn't skip a beat.
Nope.
Everybody was doing their thing and really like had a blast.
I think that,
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, I think the jerseys are a big deal. And I think a lot of places would just try to ignore this and be like, well, I hope no one talks about it. But for me, it needs to be talked. Like, we need to tackle this thing head on. Like, it sucked. It was shitty. There wasn't really much we could do about it. And we have made some changes, like with our jersey providers, to make sure this doesn't happen. Like, we just teamed up with Men's League Sweaters, and more information coming on that. But, I think a lot of it, too, is it's a testament to these tournaments aren't about the jerseys. They're not about Nick being there. They're not about Randy being there. They're about the people that are there in that moment and what they make of that experience. And to be honest with you, like, you look at that kind of stuff, and we've got some pretty damn cool people that come to our events.
It was incredible.
Right?
But
I also want to say, like, how fucking frustrating it is in this world to have a company like DHL be able to fall back on COVID. Oh, COVID's a mistake. But the fact of the matter is like, I talked to like 8 different people and they all gave me a different answer. Like, oh, these are in Colorado Springs. Oh, they're in Denver. Oh, they're here. Oh, we don't know where they are. And then just to basically tell us, well, we don't work on the weekends, so sorry, it's COVID's fault. And I'm like, fuck, like just tell me where. If they would have told me the jerseys were in Cincinnati, I would have sent someone. I would have said, okay, let's buy a flight to Cincinnati right now. Fly over there, get them, and
situated.
so we'd at least have them for the weekend, right? And so then to even tell us like, okay, show up tomorrow at 9 a.m. I know we're not open, but show up tomorrow at 9 a.m. and those jerseys will be there. You can pick them right up. I know it says we're not open, but come. And then to find out they were in Cincinnati. It just the fact that a company can't just take a little bit of responsibility, because it wasn't our fault, and really it wasn't Jersey Tim's fault, and it wasn't even the supplier's fault. This was DHL dropped the ball. Their incompetence was the reason, right? And it cost us money. We had to go buy other jerseys. Now we got to ship these jerseys to people, which sucks. And I'm not complaining about that. But for the fact of the matter that a company can't take responsibility and say, we fucked up, and that they have a scapegoat of COVID. You know, that's what everyone's using now. Oh, it's COVID's fault.
Everyone does.
Yeah.
Sorry, this wasn't COVID. This was
you're a
DHL
logistics
being
company
fucking
and you
idiots.
can't handle logistics, maybe.
No, and like,
maybe
don't
get
tell
fucked.
me that you didn't scan each box individually
Yeah.
at any point.
Exactly. And
But,
Because
like, let's talk
it said
about the
2.
real-
The original
wait.
tracking said 2, and then 1 show up, and they're like, oh, well, there isn't a second box. Like, well, and I told her, I was like, I fucking promise you there's a second box, and I'm going to need you to find it.
what's that?
Let's
2
not
pieces,
get
2
too
pieces,
much
None
2
of
into
it
pieces,
said
the
2
weeds
pieces.
on like
Yeah,
what
no,
happened with the
let's
shipping.
get
But like,
into the
let's talk
weeds.
about the real
Let's get in the
travesty.
weeds.
No, I want to talk about the real travesty is that somebody had to wear Big Dad's Baja Blast jersey. And
You're only saying
wow.
that because he said something in the comments.
Wow.
And
Terrible.
Hey,
you know what?
I'm not wrong.
I mean, it is what it is.
hey, who
isn't it?
wore it?
I have no idea.
And were they trash? Probably.
Can you, probably. Can
were
you
they
give
as
them a free draft experience though? Because
No, but I will.
Have to
I
go
will
through
say.
that?
I will say. Big Dad was going on and on all weekend about how we're have to pay him to use his jerseys, and I basically flat out told him, Big Dad, I'll give you 100% of what you have paid so far for those jerseys, which is $0 fucking dollars. So shut the fuck
Beautiful.
up, right? You know. But I'm glad Jeff Peck got to wear Baja Blast finally. I'm glad Dan
he was
did.
pumped. He was so excited.
So you know the real winners, the guys that actually deserve to wear that Baja Blast jersey, got to wear it, and I'm super stoked about that. So
I mean, thanks. I wasn't on that team. It's whatever.
well, I'm just saying. Just,
you have your jersey though, do you not?
just saying.
Well, yeah, I have my Baja jersey. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
next
so
topic.
let's
I think you know
Yeah,
we're
let's-
done.
let's-
We're
let's
done.
scooch.
But hey, fuck DHL. Get in the weeds. Fuck 'em.
Fuck DHL. Everyone
DHL
DHL
can get
Springs is
fucked.
wonderful.
DHL can fuck around and
All
find
right,
out.
great. Oh, okay.
Fafo.
All right. So I don't know much about this. So Nick, you're gonna have to tell me. I just saw it in the Facebook group that you are trying to be the Oilers super fan.
I wasn't. I'm not trying to be the
Who
Oilers
set you
super
up for
fan.
that?
I
Say,
don't
last
know.
I checked, you're not an Oilers fan.
I'm
Quite the opposite.
Not, but there's some program I guess that I saw where people can nominate a super fan and get them on an upper deck card in the actual NHL upper deck cards. I would like to have my own upper deck card, but it's a super fan thing, so I'd have to be decked out in Oilers gear. And I think some people thought it'd be funny if I was nominated for that and I got in upper deck as an Oiler fan, which would be shitty because I do not like the Oilers. Actually, I hate is a strong word. I don't hate very many people. I'm as close to hating anything as I can. DHL, one thing I hate. 2, the Oilers. So
But would you, if that was your legacy, if you were like the like fake Oilers super fan that got the card, would you be okay with that?
no, I would do it, and I'd have to wear like flames under it, like it'd be like the Oilers jersey, but you could see my red underneath. I mean, I want a card, and it would be hilarious if I was the Oilers representative. Can you imagine the troll job that I would have so much stuff for like, look at all these shitty Oiler fans. They're so bad that I'm the Oilers super fan. So if we're gonna make it happen, let's fucking make it happen. But know that I do hate the Oilers, and so I would accept this dishonorable thing. But I would do it only knowing that I'm sticking it to real Oiler fans. That really
You wouldn't. So you don't want the attention. You just want to stick it to Oiler fans.
Oh, no, he wants the
come on.
attention.
Like when have
That's
I
why I
ever?
brought it up.
When have I ever wanted attention? But I think that I mean, are there really any true Oiler fans? I mean, I think basically there's the fans that say, "Well, look at the '80s," and there's the fans
It's the
that
Gretzky and the McDavid fans.
I mean, is there any other Oiler fan? I don't think so. right? I don't think so. I think they basically jump on another bandwagon. It's like someone that's Buffalo, and all of a sudden they're Tampa Bay Lightning fans. It's that kind of bandwagon that kind
All
of
of
gets
its
you
whole
going.
life. It's
you know?
fine. It's fine.
So your whole life,
Wow.
they haven't been around your whole life, Dan.
Well, no, all right, fine. When I was younger, like I saw Martin saying the way, I was like, "Oh, look at that little guy! I can do that." I can't, but I grew to love the team because of him.
And I do like
That's fair.
on the chat, someone just said, just tell him it would have to be an OKC Barons uniform. I could get with that because in Oklahoma City, here's the funny thing about that. When I first became a hockey fan, like I became a huge Flames fan, like right off the bat, just fucking giving her. I met Jerome McGinley. I fell in love with the game. I fell in love with the Flames. And literally that was at a Christmas time. Like when I came up here to skate. And when I got back home, like literally 4 weeks later, they announced, oh, the Edmonton Oilers are going to have their AHL team in Oklahoma City. And I was like, fuck. So I cheered for the Barons, but against the Oilers. So, you know what I'm saying?
I think you're a
Yeah,
closet Oilers
definitely.
fan.
No, I'm
Yeah.
not. Because here's the reason why.
Wouldn't that be the twist?
The reason why I started hating the Oilers, like I was like, okay, well, I can root for both. Like I don't live in Calgary. I was in Oklahoma City at this time. So I wasn't really like, it wasn't like I hate Edmonton because I live in Calgary. So I'm like, I can cheer for both, but just the audacity, just the ignorance of the Edmonton Oiler fans that I encountered just threw me just completely off. Like cheering, like to lose, the fall for Hall, that all that stuff, like being proud of being losers, that's just not my DNA. So anyone
that's
that's
the
like
Oilers' history.
100%.
That's my life. That's my life history.
100%. So I cannot get with being happy to be losers. And then now at this point in the stage, being like, oh, we earned McDavid and Draisaitl. No, you didn't. You were losers. I wish the NHL would have relegation because the Oilers would be having to work their way up from the beer leagues right now because that's how far they would have been fucking shipped back. That's how bad they were for the last 13 years until they got McDavid gifted by the NHL, I think. Gifted.
They're still not winning the cup.
No.
No.
They're
great,
too
you
trick
fell
pony.
into, let's be honest, they fell into McDavid. They fell into Draisaitl. Like, he was, third overall that year?
Hey,
Because
4. They were number 4.
Okay,
Buffalo's Reinhardt.
we are sliding into
Number 4.
NHL nerd territory, and I want
Alright,
to
fine.
reel us back into.
But hey,
beer
can I
league
ask one
territory.
question to
Thank
Dan?
you, Trish.
To bandwagon Dan? I want to ask you if the Sabres would have got McDavid, would you have been a Sabres fan because they have McDavid?
No, absolutely not. I was going. The only games I really went to for Buffalo are when Tampa was in town, and because they sucked so bad, especially during that tank year. Like I'm sitting like second row behind the glass for like $20.
Oh, that's why I love
and
a
they were-
Sabres game.
You can get cheap seats anywhere because they just are permanently terrible, and they're just a terrible organization. But people were making like custom Sabres jerseys with McDavid and 97 on the back.
And you had one. You had one, didn't you?
For 2 years. 2 years before the tank year, like they were just like, this is gonna happen. We're gonna get McDavid, and then like they didn't. I'm just like, you're just idiots. This is hysterical.
Isn't it nuts how he was that good a couple years before his draft year that people were like, oh, like 16-year-old kid, and they were saying this kid is the next Crosby, which is like in my mind, like
which is baffling to think about before he gets to the league, right?
If I was like, how do you handle being that good, that young? Like
it's honestly like a miracle that he's not. I mean, he might be in person a total douchebag, but he handles himself really well.
I don't know. Have you seen the pictures of him with people? He looks like the most awkward human being.
Yeah, he looks like he's just afraid. He's just like this sheltered puppy dog that's never seen a human before.
It's hilarious. And then there's like alleged Snapchat pictures of him like trying to hustle with some girls. And it's like, he's
no
a
game.
teenager, man.
Yeah,
like,
no
let's
game.
chill.
No game.
No,
Speaking
none
of
whatsoever.
Snapchat, the tank year. Because obviously everyone in Buffalo was talking about McDavid and Eichel. There was, I think it was a Snapchat or it was an Instagram story if that was around, but it was Eichel hammered at college, just yelling to the camera, "Buffalo, I'm coming for you." And doesn't he fucking regret that?
I really
doesn't he regret everything?
Yeah.
And is that not abundantly clear? Okay. Yeah. We're reeling it in. We're coming back to beer league because I want to talk about something that we didn't talk about on the podcast, and I feel like that's a travesty because the kiddo who lost his goalie pads got his BLPA
Oh yeah.
logo
Yeah, and they're
goalie
a
pads.
sweet looking set.
They're
Too.
sick. Yeah.
Isn't that weird? Like we okay. First off, as a group, we're bad motherfuckers. All right.
Yeah, that was
I don't give a shit what anyone says about anybody that's in that group. But in less than 2 hours, we raised $1,500 to replace this goalie gears or this little goalie's pads that were lost. Probably by DHL, but it was really UPS. But
well, UPS bought DHL.
Okay,
there you go.
Perfect.
This all makes sense now.
So I just think
weird thing to know.
I mean, it's just it's so crazy that we have this group of, I say this as a term of endearment, idiots that in a time of need they jump, and there's still even bigger idiots that are like mad that we did this for some reason, like, oh, since you love
Which makes
buying,
no sense.
yeah. But he got his pads. They look incredible, and unbeknownst to me, they put a BLPA logo on the inside.
Oh, on the inside of the leg,
which
right?
is weird for a 15-year-old kid's goalie pads, but everyone's coming to beer league anyway.
Yeah,
Yes.
all roads lead to beer league.
All roads lead to beer league, and I also thought that was you that did that.
No, I didn't say anything.
No,
like the goalie guy, after he did
definitely
it,
not.
like the company said, hey, I just want to let you know we put your logo on there, and I'm like, that's not what we did it for. Like, I don't,
Right.
Obviously it's cool to have press and publicity and whatever, but that's not what our group did it for.
Yeah.
Like, all I did was
But
say,
it's also not obnoxious placement. It's like inside. It's like
it's like inside,
not,
like on the upper portion.
Yeah.
It's like it's not really going to be seen except by him. But
right.
no, that's not something that anyone within BLPA pushed for.
hey, if someone got me BLPA goalie pads, like with here's a goalie pad, when it's together, it's the BLPA logo, I would become a goalie just to wear those. And I'm going to tell you, I would be fucking damn good at being goalie. If I just had a little practice.
Well, I don't believe that part.
If I just had a little bit of practice, I would be incredible. I think.
I mean, if that's the case, I feel like we could do it. And I for sure know a few people that would just love to take a shot at you. Let's be honest.
Hey, listen, I'm not afraid of the puck. Like, it hurts, but all that padding. I just come on. I'll take a couple right in the chest. Like, most of you guys can't get the puck off the ice, so like I'm not that scared. Like,
if someone could clip Nick saying, "I'll take a couple off the chest."
Yeah.
Well, I mean, just fastest chest in beer league right here, bud.
If you give up on it, can we give the pads to somebody? Like we got Shannon in the chat, who obviously we know is a goalie. Like, just saw her in CS. I believe she was in Omaha. Like, she seems to want to rock them. If you don't,
I mean,
you give up. If you're afraid, if you become afraid of the puck.
I'll never be afraid of the puck, right? I mean, I'll never,
You'll never duck if I'm trying to clear it.
I'm not. I wear a cage, Dan.
Heck
like, it's like
Heck will now every single time.
He does. He did it. He did it like twice this week.
So I think about. Listen, and everyone says, like, in the chat, we can ask Frank about your goalie skills. Fine, ask Frank about it. Like, I lost that game by 1 goal. And I came in with zero training.
Did you suit up? And what was this?
And I was wearing Frank's pads. They're like 5 inches too big for me. Every time I moved my legs, the 2 pads would get stuck together. I gave up a goal from center ice, but I've seen that happen in the NHL, right? I lost my net, right? So I lost the game by, like, I came in completely cold, not ever suiting up, and here I am, losing a game by 1 goal. And if my team could have just poured out a little more offensive talent.
Like a true goalie, right?
Exactly.
There.
See?
Yeah, blaming everyone except you.
And I got a penalty as a goalie.
I believe we did have some sort of deal going on.
We did.
Where if we hit X amount of subscribers, you would suit up. Instagram followers? Yes. You would suit up and people could rip shots at you.
Okay. Yeah. I'm in. Well, we also did the 10,000.
I mean, that still stands.
Yeah, we also did the 10,000, and I'll pay for someone to come to a draft experience in the United States. Like, I'll pay for your flight. I'll pay for your. And guess where we're at? Like, guess how many fans we have right now? How many followers?
7230.
Let's see. I'm on it right now. Big timing here. Here we go.
Yo, big shout out to Sam, who's
8,333. Right, 8,333. That's where we're at. So 1,700 more people, and I'm bringing someone to draft experience, and I see people in there saying that they'll light me up. Well, okay, you played forward your whole life. I'm gonna jump in the net, and you're gonna brag about lighting me up. Okay, cool.
I mean, I'll brag about whoever I light up
Dan
if it
can't.
ever happens.
Yeah, I mean,
So if I ever
Like,
score a
if
goal,
it
I'm
ever
bragging
happens.
about it for a week.
yeah. So, but yeah, I think that, but it was cool that the group kind of came together and did that stuff. And I've had a lot of chat. Like, I think it's part of the mission is to give back to make the world a better place. And obviously, not having people give $1,500 in 2 hours isn't what we want to do all the time. But I think we could set up some initiatives to where we could make a difference in the world. And I think that's a cool part of the position that I guess I'm in as a leader of this group, to be able to say, this is what we're going to do, and have the type of people in the group that say, yeah, let's do it. So,
Well, and I think like for the most part, not for the most part, but people outside of the hockey community often give the hockey community a bad rap because, there are some people that aren't phenomenal in the hockey community, but when you get up to like the beer league adult hockey level, there is so much generosity there, and there are so many people that are willing to give a hand up to somebody that needs it. And I think that was such a clear example of that happening. And if there is ever another similar need or something different, like everybody's so willing to help out another beer leaguer.
yeah, and all those people that were unhappy that made like, oh, well, since now we're doing this kind of stuff, here's my message to you. It's very simple. Get fucked.
But
So,
if it was a family at your local rink, would you not, like somebody you knew, would you not throw a couple bucks towards that? Probably you would.
the only reason that stuff kind of bothers me is then people start reaching out to you to do that stuff, right? This was completely organic. Like, it wasn't like planned or anything. Like, a buddy of mine in Washington said, "Hey, Nick, you have this group. This is what happened. Can you get some word out about it?" Thinking that if we did it, then UPS would step up and, and I said, "Yeah, I'll post about it. No big deal." And then it just kind of got going. And in 2 hours, I'm like, okay, well, we don't need UPS to step up because we did. Right. So, someone says, it looks like you're playing Call of Duty and not podcasting, Dan.
He's
What?
here. He's focused. That's his focus face.
Come on. What do you want me to
boy.
look at?
Oh boy. All right. Next
I've played Call of
topic.
Duty since you stopped playing with me, man.
Yeah.
And that hurts.
Wow. Okay, that's a personal conversation.
I want to get back to Warzone.
Squabble off the podcast.
Okay,
Okay, let's
next.
move on. I feel like I have a gripe every week, so I bring like my personal gripes into this podcast to get like a little validation. And maybe I don't, and that's totally fine. But I wanted to hear your opinions on drop-in or rat if you're in the Chicagoland area etiquette, and like some key points that like if you're at drop-in, this is what you should not do.
Well, I mean, I basically what I do is sorry, I'm just trying to find my water here.
It's on your shirt.
Well, yeah, I just feel nice on my shirt. I think that what I take in life is I'm like, how does Big Dad act on the ice? Don't do that.
Don't do that.
Right? So basically, like, the number one is
Don't be a dick.
well, just don't
Bingo.
take 10-minute shifts, right? That's a really Big Dad thing to do.
That's a huge one. Like, I mean, I don't know how many. Like, there's a like a weekly drop-in at a nice rink here that I used to like going. But in the summer, all the kids come home, all the college guys are back, and like they are taking 15-minute shifts, and the bench is just packed because everyone's home and wants to skate, and it's just not worth it. Like, it's like $8 to play, which is nothing. But when I'm only getting 2 or 3 shifts for an hour and a half of ice time, what's the point?
Yeah.
Mhm.
And
I think
a lot of people feel like that. A lot of people, like, that's practice to them.
Yep. Private ice time, and then stick and pucks. You always see drop-ins, like shinnies, starting stick and pucks, which kind of stinks for people that are actually there working on things. That's not me. I never go practice, but I would go to drop-ins and scrimmage. But I think that the long shifts or that one. I think here's one of the big ones, and I only don't want to mention this because I also have a son and eventually I want to play with him. But bringing your kid to a drop-in when he's like 10, 11, 12, and then like...
I think I've really seen that like once in a while. Private skates, I've definitely seen that.
No, I've seen it a lot, and it's
tricky.
like you give him the puck and then like, what do you want to be the guy that steals the puck from 11-year-old? Yes, I do. Yes, I do.
Or the goalie that just, stonewalls them.
Yeah, I mean, like
10 or 11.
Yeah, I mean, that's definitely a Frank thing to do. Frank would shut that goalie down for sure. But it's like why, like, you stop the whole flow of the drop in when the 11-year-old gets the puck, because then they stop, right? And you see that too with beginner players. Not saying beginners shouldn't go out and play, but like beginner that they just stop and let them go, and like low level players is hard. So
they don't want the charity.
I think
they want to play.
They do.
Yeah, and I think there's a safety difference between having an adult beginner skater on the ice versus someone's kid. Like, they're a little lower, even if your head's high. Like, you might knock this kid over if they get into some sort of collision. They're probably gonna get hurt. Like, there's a safety piece there that's like top of mind for me, but also don't bring your kid. Just don't. I've said that on this podcast before.
Yeah.
Don't bring your kid.
It's a tough one. Don't bring your kid. That's a big one. That long shifts, that one. And like, listen, don't be out there taking like head high clappers from the point. Like, it's literally pickup, right? Like, I get it. It's cool. I wish I could even do a head high clapper. But it's just not the time. Like, literally one time a dude hit me. Like, I'm not a tall guy. I'm 5'8" and a half. Thank you very much. And a dude hit me in my ear and told me he was like, oh, that was going top shelf. And I'm like, dude, like, I'm 5'8". Like,
how
it's
tall
my
do you
head.
think the net is?
Yeah. So it's
and also, who cares?
Yeah. It's like, cool.
Who cares?
Right?
It's going top shelf with an 8-foot net.
So those are the what not to do in pickups. What's next?
Also, no, don't cherry pick. Don't be the asshole that cherry picks the entire pickup skate. That's garbage and no one respects you.
Just don't cherry pick in a game either. How about you just learn
I
to
get
play?
it a little more in a game if you're losing and you really like just want to throw it in there and go cherry pick, whatever. If you're cherry picking and you're up by 5, which I've seen, you're a douche and you should get off the ice. But if you're at a rat skate or a pickup skate, and I'm so sorry. If you're cherry picking the entire time, nobody respects you.
No, and guess what? No one's gonna pass you the puck. Maybe in the beginning, but when they realize that's
your
what you're doing,
boyfriend will
guess
pass
what?
you the puck.
What?
Oh,
who has a boyfriend?
I had a very interesting experience at Rat this week, but it's like, dude, if someone tells you, if you're a relatively respectable skater and somebody tells you, plant yourself at the blue line, I'll pass you the puck and you'll be clear to go, you're an asshole for falling for that.
Oh, just another one. Like, don't tap your stick on the ice looking for a pass. Like, use your words. Like, if you don't think you've been seen, use your words. Slapping your stick, you're like, this isn't Pee-wees. Because guess who doesn't do it? Pee-wees. Like, don't slap your stick. You look like an idiot.
And you sound like
Love
a beaver.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just saying.
Amazing.
Um,
Okay, we can move on now that I've
I just want to say
my time.
boomer to someone who replied to me saying boomer Sooner, fellow Sooner fan. Hey, have you seen like I just saw something where like Jeep fans, like they leave like little stuffed animals now on other Jeeps as a way to brighten their day. And I was like, that's really weird. And
that's creepy.
And I'm just
gonna start sneaking into locker rooms and leaving cases of beer.
Or pucks. Like, what if we just leave pucks? Like they literally leave them on like the door handles of a Jeep, and it's like this little stuffed animal with a note on it that basically says. So I'm just gonna start leaving random pucks around people, just brighten their day. In Calgary, it'll probably drive people insane.
That
because
might
we
work
can't
like
play
at the rink.
hockey. Maybe.
But wait, you're gonna like pull into like
IKEA?
a Walmart and just leave a puck somewhere, like.
Yep.
At the rink though, I think that'd be fun.
At the rink, I guess, yeah, but it's still like the stuffed animal thing's creepy.
But the thing about it is like it's a fellow Jeep. So if we could find a way to find like fellow beer leaguers, so we'd know, like maybe we'll just do like BLPA stickers on the back of the car.
Yeah, if you have a BLPA bumper sticker, you're getting a puck.
And I think what we do is we squash a beer can, like squash it flat and leave a note, and then just put that like on their windshield wiper.
You need to leave them a full beer.
Okay, maybe.
That's
the girl who's like looking at her glass because it's no longer full and is clearly upset about it.
I don't want to go upstairs and get another one.
I don't think we can leave random cases. Okay, next up. Let's go.
Okay. The finishing line to your story.
What story?
I feel like he wants to keep that for the end.
Oh, the crackhead
this
story?
is the end.
Okay.
Bring it on.
You can't say it's the end. We don't know.
Hey,
I'm the boss now.
I do want to say that there was a guy trying to make BLPA license plates in North Carolina.
Yes.
I was.
A license plate is a big reach. Real cool, honestly, but a big reach.
But they said you need 300 people. We have way more than 300 people. In
Shooters got to shoot.
Right? You have to take a shot. you know how many times people have told me that my idea is crazy or stupid or a reach, and I just do it anyway and usually make it happen, right? So keep telling us no, Trish. Keep doing it.
I didn't say
North
no.
Carolina, you hear that? You're reaching. But there was a crackhead story incident that I had. And basically what happened is I went to go get gas. I went to put my credit card in the machine. It wouldn't take it. So I went inside. And so since I was going to just fill it up right there, I didn't lock my doors. And so when I walked inside, I'm like, oh, no big deal. By the time I came out, there was someone in my car, like driver's side open, back to me, like rifling through the center of my stuff. And I was like, what the fuck is going on? So I walked up fucking to him. I slammed the door on the back of his leg, so I pinned him in place, and he was just like freaking out trying to get, and I just said, empty your pockets. Let me see what's in your pockets. He's like, what, man? I'm just looking through my car. I'm like, this is my car. He's like, no, it's not. And I was like, bud, like, then why do you have pictures of me in your hand that were in my center console? He's like, I thought this was my Dodge Journey. And I was like, this is not a Dodge Journey. Like, it's a Ford Explorer. Man, I just thought it was my Dodge Journey, man. And basically I made him empty his pockets. He had not stolen.
Pause your story for a second.
Yep.
Why do you have pictures of yourself in your center console?
It's like old pictures that were just there. Like probably came from an old car. Like there was pictures of me and Cooper. There was pictures of me and my wife. Just they were just probably transferred over right in the middle of my console. But I'm full of myself, so it's kind of.
That's the real answer.
But there's a picture of my old wife in there. My late wife. I guess not old wife. But so he's going through it, and so finally I get him, and I just kind of fuck it, you fucking loser, like get the fuck out of my car, you piece of trash, all that good stuff. But I had noticed, like, I made him pull out his pockets, and he didn't have anything in there, and it's really stupid because like I literally had like U.S. money laying there, like he had pulled U.S. money out of my center console. There was like $40 there, like 2 10s, some 5s, and then there was a bunch of U.S. quarters from my driving trips in my console. He didn't take any of that. It was the weirdest thing.
Like gold in Canada.
Yeah, and so then I drive out, and I have to drive past him and his friends that are standing over, and he stops me. He goes, I was like, oh, God, what do we got? And so I'm like, is he going to try to do something to me? But then I'm like, it's Canada, so they don't have guns. What's the big deal? I got 2 guns right here, click and clack. And so basically he stopped me. I rolled down my window, and I said, yeah, bud, what, fucking loser, piece of trash. And he goes, hey, can I have some spare change? And I was like, get fucked, bud. And then I just fucking drove off. And so when I said crackhead, like he had sores all over him, and he just had that like drug addict like look to him. So I don't know that he was on crack, but this seemed like a really big crackhead thing to do. Mm-hmm. Right. And hey, and you know how fat, like I was literally in there. There was no line. Like he must've been watching me. Right. Because I literally went in, I stood there. I said, oh, I need, $60 on pump number 1, stuck my card in. And by the time I turned back around and looked, like he was in my car rifling through it. So. Yeah. Wow. But anyway, that's that. So nothing was stolen. I thought maybe he'd stolen, like I had this little handheld stabilizer like camera to make some video stuff. And I thought, oh shit, I can't find that. And I left that in the RV. So I did sanitize everything he touched. My wife is very anal about cleaning stuff. And so I have like tons of like disinfectant wipes in my vehicle. So I basically I wipe down everything.
Yeah, that's probably smart.
Yeah. And so I should have told him, but I have COVID, man, just to see if he would freak out.
You never know.
Yeah.
You never know. All right. So we have a very special request from the chat to hear more about the Colorado Springs tournament and probably how amazing the MC was.
Yeah, we'll do that.
And
we'll do that next week.
There was a special club player that was there. Basically a celebrity guest.
There were a couple players there.
4. I think 4 of them were.
They were, and I got to be honest, we had the rig around, but I think we know the true rig around was the club round.
They lit it up for sure. I mean, the club, everyone. So basically what we're doing is we're going to start the BLPA club hockey team. So we can all say that I played club. It doesn't.
Hell yeah.
I'm not gonna say where. We're play the BLPA club. So if you want to join the BLPA club, there will be dues, but at all the meetings there will be punch and pie. So
Interested. I'm
we're good.
signing
Very
up.
interested.
Is there a tryout?
If you pay the dues, you're in.
Love that.
I
So-
figured we'd have to, impress club
Yeah.
to get on the team.
Yeah.
Got to impress her, right?
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, we can't impress her, but we're gonna have a BLPA club. If she wants to join, she can. But
She's automatically in, I think.
We'll have to seriously vet people like her, right? Because they're gonna come in and expect a different level of club hockey. All right, that's not this.
This is more of like club sandwich than club hockey.
Yes, exactly.
Mhm. Mhm.
Either
So-
way, club hockey was
Either-
well represented in Colorado Springs. It was
Love that.
fantastic.
Hey, I love that crew. Like that whole crew is just.
You know what?
They
And,
come in. They're
like,
incredible.
We
you
meet
know.
a lot of special people, but they stand out 100%.
And you-
Everyone
I
there.
saw a well-drawn wiener on somebody's back,
Mhm.
and I was just impressed by that. I didn't even see any of the hockey, but I knew that it was a good weekend because that happened.
Hey, you want to
I
hear?
mean, I asked for an autograph from someone, not club, but someone else, and I was told that it would have to be on my ass.
Did you get it?
No, she left.
Mm.
She
Pussy.
forgot. But
you-
I was ready for it right on the ice. Like, let's go.
Hey, when that club thing happened, and it's a big joke around, our stuff. Like someone was chirping her because like they were like, "Oh, she played college hockey," and then someone rudely goes, "Oh, just club," and we're like,
Hey,
"Okay, well, she won a
fuck around
national
and find out.
championship, right?" So when the joke started, the joke started. Randy, we were in a chat and we're like, okay. Randy's like, I'm gonna get her address. We're gonna send her a club sandwich to her house just without telling her. And so that was a pretty funny one.
Yeah, that was pretty solid.
Yeah, that was
That was a good move by
Yeah.
Good-
the Springs MC.
Also, go
himself.
ahead and make fun of her. She put up points that weekend, so
She puts up points. She's good. She's fucking
Yeah.
good. Like I don't know what you're like. She's a
Yeah, but
fucking.
imagine not going there and winning a championship.
yikes. Well, she won one with us, so in Omaha.
Well,
We went
can't win
5-0
them all.
that weekend. No big deal or anything, but
Oh
Yeah, it's
boy.
been done. You can't brag about it.
it is what it is.
Oh boy. So they
No.
had
It is what it
they
is.
had Big Dad Club and Trish Dangle from the BLPA Big Show. How was that
No, it
allowed
was
to
a
happen?
big weekend.
How is
Honestly,
that allowed to
so many
happen?
paparazzi outside of the rink. It was outrageous. The
So-
cops were not there for the teenage fight. They were there to like back off the paparazzi that night.
Nice. All right. Well,
Okay.
how are we gonna finish this up? Do we have a fight liney cut? Do we have a would you rather? Like, what's going on?
Listen, I've got a quick little fight liney cut, and it's kind of tough. And I haven't even like mustered my answers yet, so I will go last. All right, fight liney cut.
Wait. We don't have our answers either. Why are you going?
No,
None of
but
us
you're
have
gonna
answers.
listen.
You're-
I had to
so
go
you're
through my
cheating.
thought process last weekend, or last
How
week.
about this?
so
I'll give
one
you a
of can do
second
that.
to
Hey,
think about it.
I'm a
And while we
gentleman.
have that second, let's just thank our sponsors from Colorado Springs that help with the jerseys. Even though they didn't all show up, they still showed up with the kegs, and we had a great time.
Oh yeah, there was a
You know.
lot of free beer. I
Uh-huh.
do love the free beer,
Oh,
but let's
dude,
also thank
beer seltzer. Oh yeah.
let's also thank the sponsor of the BLPA Big Show, the Hockey Wolf. Ow,
Hockey
ow,
Wolf?
ow, ow.
Oh, ow!
Dan, you fucking suck, bud. Like if
Yeah,
you're not
Dan, you're
if you're not
worthless.
gonna howl, you're out of here.
It's just this
Next
mic;
time.
it's not picking it up.
Um,
That's
It's
not what
just
it
so
is.
high
That's not
pitched
what
you
it is.
can't
It's
hear
your
it.
lackluster effort, and we're not here for it.
if you're not gonna howl, Dan, you're gonna have to be out of here. We've got people gunning for your spot. Like I got someone that wants to come in and just chirp the shit out of you. And
Yeah, but no one has the commitment level that I do.
they said they'll be here every week at 7 p.m. Mountain Time,
Yeah, we know that's a lie.
and people want us to kick you out. So, okay, fight line and cut. Ladies first. You can make your selection first, but just at least give us so we'll know what we're going with.
I'm not making my selection first. I said I'm making my selection last. And again, I'm the boss, so I'm doing that.
Okay.
Bush
Listen,
Light,
she's
Coors
really
Light,
feeling
Natty
it
Light,
today.
fight liney cut.
What was it?
Listen, maybe. Bush Light, Coors Light, Natty Light.
Okay, I can do that. I'm probably gonna cut Natty Light. I'm gonna fight. You say Coors Light? Was that the other one?
Yeah.
And I'm gonna line a Bush only because I love that dude, the You Betcha dude that goes.
You would
Yeah.
love
And then
that
he goes.
guy.
Then he
Yeah.
drinks
How
it.
do you not?
And he drinks it and he goes, so cold, and he loves ranch. So I
Paint
love
him
the guy.
green.
I love the guy. I wish he played hockey because I would bring him out to 2 draft experiences for the sole reason that
I bet he'd do it anyway.
I think he comes out
Oh,
for the
he
sole
might.
reason that he demonstrates a beer chug, and it's always. Whoosh. I think that would
Is
be
this our next like venture, trying to get that guy to come out to a
maybe
draft?
maybe. I mean, I would love to go down on some Busch Lights with him. That's for sure. He's a hilarious guy. I think he's funny. I think he would fit in great with us. He might take Dan's spot. I don't know. We'll have to see.
I would
What's to say?
gladly relinquish that spot to that man.
Yeah. So,
Wow. Love
but I
that.
think
He is
he's
hysterical.
he's in Minnesota, right?
It's Minnesota or Montana.
It has to be
somewhere out
Minnesota. If
there.
it's You Betcha.
I think it
Betcha,
is Minnesota.
Minnesota for sure.
But
Mm.
I think honestly, Nick, I think he'd steal head host from you. He just has
He
that kind of
might.
presence.
He has his own podcast.
Someone's saying he's
does
from
he?
Wisconsin.
Oh, is he like Eagle River, Wisconsin?
Oh.
Eagle River, Wisconsin.
Oh, things just got
Oh,
really
you
real.
It
betcha.
might be Wisconsin.
You betcha. Yes.
All right,
Busch.
I'm into it.
that's what we're spending our time on now.
Or can we make our own like Busch, but with a different beer? Like I guess.
I mean, they turned the Busch logo into their own logo. Like,
yeah, like
can we?
but what kind of cool sound? Like doesn't make Busch like Natty doesn't make a cool sound.
We'll figure it out.
Coors doesn't like make a good sound, right?
We need to find like some bottom of the barrel light beer.
I bet
we can
Colorado
do.
Craft Distributors has one for us.
They don't have
Let's
a
be
bottom
honest.
of the
They
barrel,
don't have
but
bottom of the barrel.
Well,
dude.
no, probably not bottom of the barrel, but I'm sure they can hook us up with someone who can help
I mean,
us
they
out
have
with
the
that.
Miller High Life. I
Absolutely.
mean, that could be something that's kind of bottom of the barrel there, right?
I'm just saying,
Maybe,
let's call
maybe.
McGraw. Let's get it sorted.
PBR
All right.
for sure.
I don't know if PBR's bottom of the barrel anymore. The hipsters kind of.
Yeah, but now
Brought
it's
that
back
up a
down.
bit
Like
for
it's
some reason.
Yeah.
see, someone just said
Hipsters really
PBR
helped
right
that
in
out.
the chat.
That's Shannon. Don't ignore her. Come on, Shannon. We're better than that.
oh my god, someone said Steel Reserve, and I'm
Oh,
I've never even
having
had
we're not.
Steel
Let's
Reserve.
PTSD.
not.
Having a little PTSD. Let's move on. Dan, what is your fight lining cut for this?
Um,
Do you need a refresh?
no, I would cut Natty.
Why?
Honestly, like it's gonna be boring, but like I'm copying Nick. Like, how do you not want the Busch Latte on your line? And like,
Mm-hmm.
I'll fight Coors. Like, who's drinking Coors? Who's concerned about it? Nobody. But the
Wow.
guys that are painting the green, like, you don't want to mess with that. You want those guys on your line.
Yeah.
So I would line the Busch Lattes. I would cut Natty because that's just terrible. And I'd fight Coors.
Interesting. Okay. So I'm also gonna liney Bush, and that's wonderful that we all agree. So everybody
Is that a
who's
first?
watching, it might be a first. So take a shot, everybody. If I had some sort of liquor in front of me, I would. But I think for maybe a different reason, I think Bush is like more fun than the rest of the beers. They have that like apple version of Bush Light that
Well, I mean,
that came
Natty
out.
has the
that would be
natter
super
days, but
tasty. Yeah,
but you don't ever
I'll
hear
get to
anything
that.
about like it's
I'll get to
Busch
that.
Latte. What other light beer has that latte name going for it?
Yeah, it's kind of fun. I like it a lot. I'm going to cut Coors Light. Boring. Tastes like most of the crappy light beers. It's gonna be fine
Water.
after. Yeah, it's water. It's piss water, and it's gonna be fine after a game. Natty Light. I'm fighting. That's the fratty beer, so it's gonna be an easy fight. They're already drunk, especially Natterdays Natty Light. So fighting that for sure.
Okay, I just did a quick search of the top 10 absolute worst tasting beers, and this is a rank. I don't know. I mean, it comes from 247wallstreet.com, Spoon University. So number 10 is Coors Light, number 9 Natural Ice, number 8 Keystone Light. You know, with Keystone.
Oh, that's college right there.
7
That
Busch
hurts.
Light, 6 Bud Light, 5 Corona Light, 5 Bud Light Chelada, 3
I don't know what that
Michelob
is.
Ultra.
It's chelada.
It's
Is
isn't
there a
like clam
description of what
juice.
chelada is? What is that? That I don't know that word.
Many people consider port. It's like a Bloody Mary. Like I think it's got.
Oh,
like
it's a
clam,
chelada, like a michelada.
Uh,
It's
just
beer.
said
It's like a beer bloody.
Bud Light Chelada. That's what
Oh,
I
They're
just said.
very
yeah,
good,
I've had
but
that.
I
They're good.
Okay.
I
don't
don't
know
think
if
I'd
I
want
the
that in a
Bud Light
can.
version of it.
3 is Michelob Ultra, 2 Budweiser Select 55, and number 1 Natural Light. And this is the one beer that I was thinking of. Someone just said it in the chat. William Wheatley, as a matter of no, Matthew Levine, it might be Levine. I don't know. Milwaukee's Best. Unleash the Beast.
Oh.
I think that needs to be the official beer.
That's pretty bad.
the
I mean, like
BLPA.
Randy mentioned Old Milwaukee, and that is just terrible.
Yeah.
That whole any beer in Milwaukee, like it's not good.
I think that's we're gonna go with Milwaukee's Best. It's going to be the beer of the BLPA. We're going to unleash the beast. So, and that's the thing. Now we just chug it, and then we
I know
growl.
it's not the point, but I think
we
we can do
growl.
better.
Well, the point is to do
I know
worse.
it's
It's
the
not about
opposite
doing
of the
better.
point, but we can definitely do
Not about
better
doing
than
better.
that.
It's doing the best with what we have, and that's what we have.
Like, we just got a kid a whole set of goalie pads out of charity. We want to, here you go, guys. Milwaukee Best. Thanks.
Because then you can chug it.
Best for a reason.
It's unleash the beast, and you can chug it and then make growling noises. I mean, what better way to do?
Because our howling is doing so well.
Yeah, well, I mean, we got to do it. And what's funny is, like, the reason I love doing these live is because we get to interact with fans, like in a real time basis. And like one guy was like, "So if this is live, is there any way to scroll up and see all the shit you guys have been talking?"
Yo, that was our club pal.
That's club.
Yeah, but then
That's club.
I can't see that, but someone responded to her and said, "Yes, swipe your finger."
Swipe up. Which is just.
That's the gold you get here, y'all.
Oh my god!
Listen, when you're focusing on club, you're just not learning how to use the social media apps the right way.
Yeah.
Well, she
All
has
about
no time.
athleticism, not necessarily technology.
Yeah.
Doing all the practice. But someone said, I think Trish should do the podcast next week with no glasses.
That's Big Dad, and he can get fucked. So.
But I
How about you go no glasses, I go glasses?
That would be, yeah, I'd be okay with that trade-off.
All right.
and then but Dan's always trying to insert himself into the coolness. Just needs
If
that
I
attention.
don't, then we're just listening to Nick for an hour.
That's what that's how the show started, bud. Don't knock
I
out
mean,
the
I
show
know
was
that's why the
built.
people are here, but let's.
I mean, don't knock
let's
out
Hey,
the
if they
show
analyze
were
was
them a little.
built.
paying
Let's not just
for
give
it,
them
it
what
would
they
be
want.
Nick for an hour.
Hey, here's the deal.
They're not
bud.
paying,
Well,
so we gotta
100%.
interject.
Hey, here's the deal. There's a host.
Kyle says Dan with no hat, no shot.
Hey,
Bud.
there's a host, and that's me.
Not a single one.
And there's co-hosts.
Dan
and
wears no
that's
hat,
you.
I wear a hat.
It's only embarrassing
That's a
for one
great
of us.
hat trade.
Like what? It's hey Dan, we're bald. What's the big deal? Like, who cares, right? I mean, we don't like
My
it.
bald is worse than yours.
Hey Dan, what would it take for you to wear no hat for one whole show and let people make bald jokes about you?
I'll go.
I don't know why we're going to continue to record
I'll
this,
go a
but
whole month of shows if 15 people sign up for Boston.
15.
Oh, dang.
Okay.
Okay.
I don't know if we have the room, but
We're
sign up for
we're
Boston.
at 25. So
I'll do what I got to do.
once we get to 40 registrations, I think there has to be something else. So, hey, we'll think about this on next week's show. I think we really need to do just a live show that's question and answer. And I really think we should do it like actually live at a
Dex.
and we get on a stage
Yeah.
and let people come up to the microphone and ask us questions.
Well, your
Big
next
Dad's
one
not
is-
allowed to come up to the microphone.
I also
Why don't we do it at Boston?
yes. I also think
Oh, so
we
we're,
should get
we're
a
strong arming me into Boston now is what we're doing.
yes.
Yeah, I mean, what's the problem?
I also think we should get a
Love it.
dunk tank and let
Oh,
people
I'd be down.
for
Hey,
charity.
we found that company. We can do it.
I think so. We
Dunk
should
tanks
get
are, you can build a dunk tank, man.
yeah, you can rent it too.
Yeah, but we don't live in these cities, so like I'm not building something. I'm gonna leave there.
So, all right,
It'll be
hey,
fun.
that's enough for this episode. I'm sure I'm stoked that you guys are chirping each other in the chat. It makes my week when I get to go back through and read all these comments of you guys chirping each other. So, the more chirps, the better. That's what this show is about. You guys have anything to add before we leave?
No,
Nope.
sign up for Boston. See you in Cleveland.
Sign up for
Or see you in
Boston,
Vegas.
Cleveland. What's the other one? BLPA, like the Bash in Madison,
Yeah,
Wisconsin.
let's
we
get
need
the batches
teams.
going. BLPA Fest.
And then July.
See you in Eagle River, everybody.
There we go. All right, guys. Be good or be good at it. Peace out.